At the Goodwood Motor Race Course for the 10th National Greenpower Final.
Greenpower is all about engineering, education and the environment, and getting school teams involved in motorsport.
There are 2 races going on here at Goodwood today. One in the morning, a 1.5-hour sprint race, where the racers have to do as many laps as they possibly can on 1 set of batteries. In the afternoon, there's a 4-hour endurance race, where the racers are given 2 sets of batteries, and they've got to complete as many laps as they can.
Okay, let's kick off and go and take a look at the scrutineering. We're going to chat to some of the teams and see what they think it's all about.
Our car's just being scrutineered to see if everything's in order, like the wheels are straight and stuff.
They try and check if your horn's working, your brakes are working.
They check the motor if it's alright, they check the batteries, they check the brakes.
Is there actually a cut out though that will trip?
They check your helmet's height, like on the crossbar.
No, some of the best I've seen, so.
They just check the battery fixings, the wheels, motors. We had some problems with the seatbelt, so we had to refix it. And now we're going to have to refix it again for the next race, but it's okay for now.
They're checking that all the pieces in the car work, and it's got the essential things you need for safety, like brake lights, the brakes are working.
And you have to be able to get out of the car in 6 seconds. I think that's for more health and safety reasons more than anything, so they know that if something goes wrong, you can jump out of the car and you'll be alright.
3, 2, 1, go.
Go, you just jump!
Yeah, that was actually with the time.
I don't know what happens if you can't get out in 6 seconds. That's about all I know, really.
Okay, pull them back into the pits.
Sir, we need to know everything about
High School. Melanie Phillips, I'm from Sandbach High School. We're racing in the F24 Plus with this car Brian, and we're also racing in an F24 with another car Zebedee. We work through lunch times, after school, weekends, holidays. We work hard to get them finished.
We came from Ripon, which is all the way from North Yorkshire.
The electric chair, which is that one, was made entirely of recycled old school chairs, and it cost us about £100 to make.
Now, we saw your battery change. Now, what's different about that? Because that looks quite unique.
Yeah, well, we have quite a unique trolley system where we have a catch on each battery, so to make the battery change as efficient and quick as possible. So hopefully that'll give us an advantage over the other teams in the pit stop.
Second best.
Now, I've never seen a car that's completely padded on the outside before. Why is that?
Well, it's actually the shell's made out of recycled foam, and we figured it'd be better than using metal because it's a lot lighter and weighs next to nothing, so hopefully it'll make our car a lot lighter than the other cars.
So what's unique about your car?
It's made of wood and we've done 600 miles.
Wow, that's a lot of miles. Tell me, what do you enjoy about Greenpower?
Well, basically being in the car and going around the tracks, it feels really weird.
Is it quite fast?
Yeah, it depends what gear I'm in.
Hi, we're Seaford College and I'm team leader.
So can you tell us a bit about your car? What makes it unique and what makes it so good?
The uniqueness of this car is that it's really streamlined and it's a gearbox car.
A couple of years ago we went to saw some Formula 1 cars, so based the aerodynamics on that.
So that sounds good. So how many gears does your car have?
It ranges from 14 gears, but we mainly use 10 to 14, 11 through the chicane and 12 and 13 through the rest of the course.
We're Sweetie Chariot and we're from Skipton Girls High School in North Yorkshire. We really like Greenpower because we're an all-girls team, which is like amazing because we get to beat all the boys.
We've got the pit stops down to 30 seconds now, and this morning we were 45, so we're definitely going to work as a team. We like beating the boys. Come on guys, let's win it. 3, 2, 1, yeah! What's up? Battery out! Down! Cover it!
How about when things go wrong? How do you cope under pressure?
We're really good actually when things go wrong because we keep really calm about it. We do a lot of screaming and stuff when everything's going well.
Okay, so this is my old car that I used to be head of pit sport, so it's really my baby that we started working on right from scratch. I've got some of my old team members here to help me talk about the car. Now, Lucy, you did a lot of work on the bodywork. Now, can you tell us a bit about that?
Well, it's basically a piece of plywood that we poured hot water all over, flooded the tech block, bent it over and covered it with carbon fibre. And then it was sent off to get polished by one of our sponsors.
It doesn't have a steering wheel, which some other cars have. So we have these two light handles.
Now, at the back, we used to have a lot of problems with our motor burning out, so we had to come up with a way of cooling it down without using ice or water. So we now have a nice fan system, and it's all black so that it radiates the heat away from the motor, and usually that works. So Flora, you're driving this afternoon. How are you feeling about that? Really confident?
Hopefully if it doesn't rain too much it should be alright, and if we don't have any crashes we should do well.
We're Project Plume Power and we're from Malden. 2, 3. Dancing in the moonlight. Everybody's feeling warm and bright. It's such a fun and natural sight. Everybody's dancing in the moonlight. Hey! Project Plume Power!
Here we are on the grid for the start of the first race, which is for 16 to 21-year-olds. Line, and it's been a really close race, and the winning car has just crossed the line. Wow. So that was Trinity School with TSR 4 Plus that has just won, but it looked a bit like a bit of a photo finish, so I'll have to confirm that. So this is car TSR 4 Plus of Trinity School, and this is Josh, and you've just won the first race. How does that feel?
That does feel very good, I must say. It was a hard race though, they were crying on my tail for the whole race.
Did you have any problems along the way?
Other than race strategies, no problems with the car. It was just whether or not Brian was going to go for it on the last lap. And then they did in the end, so it was a mad dash for the finish.
F24 is electric car racing for schools all around the country, from ages 11 all the way to age 16.
It was all started off as I'm a passionate believer in engineering as a career for people and kids and everybody, and I noticed that we had less and less in the country from talking to engineering companies, and this was my attempt to do something about it, really.
And how do you think the children benefit from taking part in a scheme like this?
Well, what I think they do, by seeing engineering at a young age, before you've got preconceived notions, you can make your own mind up. And because engineering doesn't have a very good press in the sense of, what's on television, you don't actually see it apart from Scrap Heap Challenge, I think. There's nothing to really influence kids, so I think that by getting involved very young, 10, 11, 12 or whatever, you can make your own mind up and realise how much fun it is. And when something's fun, you actually like doing it at school and you learn better, you see. That's my feeling.
So here we have John Ling from the Institution of Mechanical Engineers, which is a partner with Greenpower. Why are you involved with Greenpower?
Well, we want to interest young people in engineering. If we can do anything at all to foster the interest of young people in engineering, then we'll do it, and that's what this is all about. So it's an ideal partnership.
This introduces school pupils into engineering is the main point. You don't get that in everyday D&T lessons. It gives you practical hands-on experience, which you wouldn't normally get. Also, introducing you into the environmental issues of electric cars is it's the future. So we're breeding new engineers through Greenpower.
No, I just think it's a great initiative. I think school kids doing something that's really practical, that helps their studies, and at the same time fun and learning a bit about motor racing. I think the whole thing coming together, and it's even going to look at the enthusiasm, the crowds here, to see how it's captured people's imagination. I think it's a brilliant initiative.
Well, it's been at Goodwood for 10 years now, which is fantastic, and we're very interested in the whole green thing, and we're very, very keen to support the schools, and Goodwood has a tradition with this whole event, so we're very, very happy for it to carry on here and to support it in every way we can.
What do you think the teams get out of an event like this?
Well, I hope I guess it's a huge build-up for them. They've been working on these cars for a long time. They've designed and built them. This is the big moment. It's what they've all been waiting for, and I hope that Goodwood brings a certain gravitas to that occasion. It's a great circuit. It's probably the only classic racetrack in the world exactly as it was when it was built. So bringing it here and doing it here, I hope, adds a certain atmosphere and flavour to the whole day.
What we are really interested in, though, are the goblins, the junior ones for the primary schools, and to see the youngsters, anything from 6 to 9 years old, racing these cars around. They're not exactly the same type of car, but they're of the same sort of model. To see that is absolutely incredible. They are so enthusiastic, and if we can interest them in engineering at that stage, then we have a chance, because by the time they get to the secondary school, they're choosing their GCSEs anyway, and it may be too late. So yes, this works. This is a good formula.
Right now the cars are lining up for the parade of the F24. There are approximately 70 cars here today, and they've qualified from heats from all around the country.
This is a chance for the cars to show off their unique designs and for the teams to compete in the Best Presented Team Award. So as you can see, lots of the teams have gone for matching outfits, banners, and we even heard some bagpipes earlier.
grid and the cars are lining up for the beginning of the Formula 24 4-hour endurance race. In this race there's a maximum of 6 drivers and they're only allowed to change the batteries once within the 4 hours.
Thank you all very, very much for coming. It's been a great day. Good luck to all your races and may the best one for you.
So that's it, the race is underway and they've got a very long race ahead of them.
It looks like it's going to be a really tactical race, so let's go and meet some of the teams and see what they're planning.
And what are your tactics for the race?
Go as fast as possible for as long as possible.
Basically going to switch over 5 drivers, 2 drivers over the first 2 hours and 3 drivers over the last 2 hours.
We spot them off so you have 5 drivers. The first 2 have an hour each, then there's a battery change and a drive change, and the last 3 have 45 minutes and half an hour.
Basically we're just trying to keep the amps pretty kind of steady, making sure we don't drain too much off the batteries. I mean, at the heats we had quite a lot of power left in the batteries when we changed them, so we want to keep that up for this race really.
I think we're letting, because we've got 2 pairs of batteries, we're letting one battery go off and then bring it in and change, so we use up all the battery.
We're going for every 40 minutes to change the battery. We've got 5 drivers, so we're keeping one driver in for 80 minutes but changing the batteries every 40 minutes.
We're with Wasabi at the moment and they're about to do a battery change and a driver change as their first pit stop. Okay, so what's going to happen now? Who's going to change the...
Maddie, our communications, has gone out there and she's going to bring the car in the next lap. So when the car comes in, we're going to pull in there and Kylie's our new, Hannah's our new driver. And basically, we're going to carry on the race because we've got to do 5 pit stops.
We're going to try and not reuse drivers, but if we have to, we have to.
Okay, Kylie, so do you want to talk us through what's happening in this pit change?
Basically, this is our first pit stop, and they're going to change the batteries, change the drivers, and they have to add more water for the cooling system, and then we should be away again.
It's half an hour to go to the end of the race. It's getting quite exciting out there. How's your team doing? I think we're just about doing okay, hoping the batteries will last out. We're slightly slowing down at the moment, but so are the rest of the cars, so fingers crossed we're still a little bit ahead.
This is Sandbach High School and they've just won the second race, Formula 24, with their car Zebedee. So well done girls, how does it feel?
Amazing! Absolutely amazing! It's the best thing with this is just it's nice to have our work finally paid off. We've been doing this for 6 years.
We've worked so hard for it and we've finally got rewards for it.
So how did you girls build this car?
All this car was built all in the technology suite in school, all by the team members. All the way from welding the chassis ourselves to making the bodywork ourselves, all completely done by the team with the help with a couple of engineers.
So is there anybody you want to thank?
We'd love to say thank you to Mr. B, our teacher. He's spent years doing this with us He's worked, evenings, after schools, he's worked weekends and holidays doing this for us. And without him, we wouldn't be able to do it without him, really.
And will you girls be back next year?
Definitely.
National Greenpower Final here at Goodwood. It's been a fantastic day and the enthusiasm has been undiminished.
All the teams have had a great day and we're sure that many of them are going to go on to build their cars for many more years to come.